everybody. I'm Christopher Green. You're watching Greenwave TV. Alternative media television is, of course, November 13, 2012. I just want to take a moment to thank our amazing audience. You know, I don't think our audience realizes that a lot of our sourcing of stories and a lot of the information that we get really comes from our audience and from our tip line. In fact, the story I'm about to share with you first roused my attention days ago, and really it's been coming in over the past few days from our subscribers sending us private messages and sending us tips directly at amtvmedia.com. Send a tip, or you can send us a direct email to tips@amtvmedia.com. I'm going to throw the camera over my shoulder here. Texas, the great state of Texas, is the first state to receive 25,000 plus signatures signing a petition to secede from the Union. This is all at whitehouse.gov. There's 20 states, 20 plus states, the last time I checked, seceding from the Union. You'll see just how divided this country really is. You know, we just had President Barack Obama reelected November 6th, and I told you, watch and see what happens. You'll see states like Texas, states like Arizona, states like Georgia, states like Kentucky, there's 20 plus and growing, signing petitions to secede from the Union. You know, it's interesting because President Barack Obama views himself like he's Abraham Lincoln. Well, he might be getting a taste of being Lincoln even more than he had expected. Of course, I'm sure he's expected this. The only difference this time is the North isn't going to win. The South is. As I talked about in our show a few days ago, the fact that President Barack Obama has won only will solidify in the minds of average conservative Republicans that there isn't a two-party system anymore. That even Republicans can't operate within the two-party system. It's really a one-party system, a fast track to socialism. So we're going to see more states and more of the secession movement, especially as we gear up for war, especially as it becomes more clear what the agenda is to millions of Americans. And it's very scary. It's scary to think how divided this country truly is. In fact, on the website, I'm going to throw the camera over my shoulder, you'll see that in addition to the petitions to secede, there's also petitions to exile those signing the petitions to secede. So this is very Civil War-esque. I mean, this is what we saw in the history books, folks, but it's happening in the United States today in 2012. I mean, think about this, and it's really interesting also to think about the fact, you know, President Barack Obama, now that he is pushing the rats to leave the nest, we of course had the huge story with General Petraeus. That story isn't finished yet. In fact, I've got a lot of new information. I'm just compiling a lot of the data. I'll be presenting that in a follow-up video. We've got people like Eric Holder, the Fast and Furious gun running scandal. He's stepping down. People like Hillary Clinton. See how everybody flees. But now that he's been reelected, he's picking up steam on all of these bills, all of these executive orders that he's been pushing through. President Barack Obama having passed more executive orders and using that power than any other president in the history of America. But now he's coming after our guns, which is another reason it's going to spark this secession movement even further. And that's one of the reasons many of these states are exercising their constitutional, let me repeat that, constitutional state rights to secede from the Union. If the United States federal government ever puts us in a position or puts a state in the position where they have to seize control. That's why we have a country, that's why we have a constitutional republic, checks and balances. The states are acting as a check to balance out the system, which is why we're seeing the beginning of the secession movement. But back to the UN Disarmament Treaty, which Obama let die leading up to the election, now he is fueling the fire for that again. So he is truly looking to empower a third-party institution through the United Nations to govern, to outlaw not just assault weapons here in the United States of America, to put all Americans on a registry, to control your gun ownership, a third party, where the United States and our own government won't even have sovereignty over it anymore. And think about that for a minute. All these northerners, if you want to call them northerners, that are siding with the president, that are pro-socialism, that were the 50+% in the popular vote that voted for President Barack Obama, you know, this could get very dangerous for you because you're the people voting in that we don't need guns anymore. We don't need assault weapons in the streets. Well, I'll tell you, when the country is divided as it is today, breaks out into civil war, and we see the sparks begin to fly, and we've already seen the movement begin to garner steam with Texas, the great state of Texas, already receiving 25,000 plus signatures, you're going to be the only one without self-defense because the government will have taken all your guns. So let's go take a look at the story. All right, America, you can see I got my cup of joe. This is kind of your morning cup of coffee with AMTV Media and Christopher Green. Okay, I'm at the main website. You'll notice this is where we're putting all of the daily updates. In fact, I'm just about to update today on AMTV. Of course, it's the 13th. So this is where I put who we have coming on the show, what we're talking about for the day. You can also check our schedule. I have Chris Duane of the Silver Shield Report. Many of you are familiar with him. He's the founder of TruthNeverTold.com. He'll be making his debut appearance on the radio show 3 to 5 p.m. Central Time. Very excited to have him on. And if you want to check our calendar, you can simply go to AMTV Pro Plus. Not only do we have our full show archives for our AMTV Pro Plus members, as well as special events that we've covered, like the RNC, the Republican National Convention, where we interview people like John Voight, Alec Baldwin, Stephen Baldwin, excuse me, I always get those Baldwins mixed up. Our radio show archive, our mini docs, our podcasts on the go. But you can click our calendar here, and it tells you exactly what we're doing, where we're traveling. I expect to be doing a lot more traveling in 2013. And you can click to see who we actually have as our guest, where I'm making appearances, where I'm being interviewed, and it's a great way to stay informed. And also, I'd just like to ask a favor. If you haven't already, make sure to like us on Facebook. You know, people, they almost kind of laugh at it. We have over 28,000 plus daily YouTube subscribers, but because I've very rarely implemented our Facebook widget, we really don't have a lot of attention on Facebook. So next time you're at amtvmedia.com or greenwave.com, click the like button. It'll help us to get more attention in the blogosphere. But let's go to the petitions here. We the people, this is petitions.whitehouse.gov. And you can see here it says, we the people, your voice in our government. Now the fact that Texas, the great state of Texas, has received 25,000 plus signatures means that the United States federal government actually has to formally respond to the petition because they've done it in less than 30 days. You can see here it says peacefully grant the state of West Virginia to withdraw from the United States of America, 196 signatures. Peacefully grant the state of Nebraska to withdraw from the United States and create its own new government. And then you see here, deport everyone that signed a petition to withdraw their state from the United States of America. So we're seeing the counter petitions to the petitions to secede from the Union. It goes on and on. There's 20 plus states. Pennsylvania. Here's another anti-secession statement. Strip the citizenship from everyone who signed a petition to secede and exile them. I wonder if the people that are signing that petition to exile those know that they are seeking to exile United States citizens that are exercising their constitutional rights. But see, that's why we have a secession movement in the United States of America today, because those that are a part of the North, that are a part of the socialist regime, they don't give a shit about the U.S. Constitution. The U.S. Constitution, in their opinion, is an archaic document. After all, the Democrats and a lot of the socialists I talk in the street today tell me, well, you guys just need to evolve. Like we're all a bunch of hicks with shotguns and pickup trucks. And you're damn right. We do have our pickup trucks and we do have our shotguns. But it's, you know, very much a stereotype to think that those are the only people that side with the Constitution. I'm kind of a perfect case and example of that myself. So it goes on and on. Each state seceding from the Union, these petitions. Kansas. We see Oklahoma. We see Utah. Wyoming. We see other petitions here. California. Ohio. New York. Delaware. Goes on. Nevada. We see Pennsylvania. And so it goes on, and I think there's been maybe an overlap of some petitions state to state, because, again, Texas has received 25,000 plus, and I expect now that this is getting more mainstream media attention. I saw a few stories on it today. This will only pick up more steam. So take a look at this for yourself. Check it out. Pretty darn interesting, but it's just proof in the pudding that America's upset. The people are incredibly divided, and you know, President Barack Obama might be getting his wish. You might be a lot more like Lincoln than even you thought so yourself, Mr. President. Also, major headlines today, and I'll be getting into a lot of these stories, especially as we broadcast the morning show today, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, East Coast time on our Go Live segment, which I do every Monday through Friday, in addition to our show later today, 3 to 5 p.m. Central. You can see here that a couple of the big headline stories, according to the Drudge Report, we got a picture here General David Petraeus. This rabbit hole digs deep. I'm uncovering a lot with this story as we speak. You can see the menage a trois triangle here with the other women. It says an FBI agent banned from probe after he grew obsessed with woman and sent her shirtless photo. Okay, that's unrelated to what we're talking about. But the father of Broadwell, the father of Paula Broadwell, made a statement and released it and said that he supports his daughter 100% and that we will find that this is a part of a much larger cover-up as the days ensue and we uncover more about this story. He says that there's a lot of motive behind the discrediting of not just General Petraeus, but the discrediting of his daughter, and the fact that the media and the administration has been lauding this as a major headline story. Conveniently, 1 week before the testimony coming from Petraeus. This goes a lot deeper and back a lot further than most people think. So stay tuned on those reports. And this truly is a four-star circus, America. So check these stories out. You can see here, bombshell story is just a smokescreen for something bigger. CIA disputes Broadwell's Benghazi comment. It goes on and on. So we have an incredible day today. We have some incredible stories to talk about. Stay tuned. Click the link below me. That'll take you to the Go Live segment. As always, I'm Christopher Green. You've been watching Greenwave TV, alternative media television, and I just deliver the Daily Wave. Hard-hitting and in your face.